Hello, I'm Jonathan Earnshaw, Director of the BJS Academy and former Editor-in-Chief of BJS. Welcome to this video designed to showcase the BJS Foundation Editor Assistant Bursaries. I'll be joined in a minute by Professor Malin Sund, BJS Editor and former Editor Assistant. The bursaries are designed to introduce surgeons to the editorial process for handling surgical research papers. The idea came from the BJS editorial team around 20 years ago. Now, surgery is an apprenticeship, so it seemed like a good idea to offer an apprenticeship for editors too. We put the idea to the BJS Society as it was then, and they agreed to approve 2 posts annually for surgeons nearing the end of their training or at the start of their consultant posts. They joined the BJS editorial team and latterly BJS Open to learn how they work and to gain practical experience handling scientific manuscripts. In the 20 years since we started, countless surgeons have benefited from the experience. And here's the thing, the majority of appointments to the editorial teams of BJS and BJS Open have gone to former editor assistants. We're at the start of the process to find editor assistants for 2025. So let's talk to Malin Sund and get her experience. Malin, you were one of our first editor assistants. Why did you want to be one, and how was the process for you?
Well, I was actually informed by a senior professor in Sweden about this opportunity, and I applied first and wasn't actually selected the first time around, but I did get a very nice email saying that I should apply again the next year, and I did, and was then elected to be an editor assistant in 2010 to 11. And I really felt I had been in research for quite a long time already at that stage, and it felt like a completely new way of looking at scientific writing, not as a researcher yourself, but as an editor, and it just felt like a very good opportunity. And I must say that this really has ended up shaping my scientific career in many ways. So I'm still a researcher, but I'm also very much an editor, and I've been more or less with the journal since. I had a brief break there for a year, and after that I was asked to join the editorial team, and I've been there ever since, and it's been a really wonderful time for me.
So what do you remember about your year as an editor assistant?
Well, at that time, there was only one journal for the first, so there were 2 of us, and we were with the editorial team for a year. We had quite a lot of we had meetings that we met in London. Now it's more, we have virtual meetings more. We still do meet in real life a couple of times a year, but we travel perhaps a little bit less than we used to do. I also remember giving workshops. We did workshops both for how to review a paper and how to write a paper, and those were great opportunities to meet other surgeons in other countries and guide them in writing and reviewing. So there's a lot of very good memories from that year, of course.
So, I mean, you've seen the process happen now for most of its 20 years. What do you think, apart from the fact that a lot of our meetings and our education is online, what do you think the difference is for the editor posts?
Well, I think for the editorial assistant post, the big difference is now, of course, that we have 2 journals. So the editorial assistants, they work for a while both with us in BJS, but then also with our sister journal BJS Open. So that's a big change. The thing that still remains there is that the editorial assistants do projects. So we did projects on specific editorial matters, and that's what they still do. So in that sense, the program is the same. And what hasn't changed is that all of those who are elected are really super good. And we've seen it in that many of them are now editors, either for our BJS journals or then for other surgical journals. So this really is a good way of also training to be an editor.
So you think the post is still relevant, do you?
I do, absolutely. And what I'd like to say is that even if you apply now once and you're not selected, don't give up, because there's always a new year, the next year that you can apply. So please don't give up after one try. And I absolutely do recommend this for any, aspiring academic surgeon. I think it really will, even if you don't become an editor in the future, you will become a better researcher because you know how the journals work and how to write good papers. So it's a learning experience in that sense as well.
Okay, well, if you've persuaded people to apply, then what advice would you give people about the application process itself?
Yeah, the thing is that I think it's we've seen now, because the process goes so that the applications come into us editors for both journals, and we go through all of these applications and score them. And sometimes we see that perhaps some applicants are too junior in their scientific career. So maybe those you are already a bit more senior, you have are at the end of your surgical training, that's a good time to apply. And also that you have some experience as a researcher yourself. I think you gain more from the program at that stage. So that would be my guidance. And of course, it's very important we read the personal letter that everybody writes. It's your CV, and it's also a motivational letter why you apply. And I think that's quite important for us to get a picture about the applicant. So I would put effort into that letter.
I think that's all very good advice. Having sat through a number of these posts trying to sort out who's the winner, the candidates are usually very high quality, but don't let that put you off. Please apply if you'd like to post. If you want to find out more about it, there's some information about the application process on the BJS Academy website. And I think from both of us, we'd say, please apply and very good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you for listening.